guys, it's Maya, and today we're talking about my favorite video topic, which is Instagram. So there's a lot of different social medias out there, but my favorite one is Instagram because I love sharing my photos. I think photos are a great way to show your life like as a story and like a great art form, and it's just like my favorite thing to do. And my favorite part of photography is photo editing. So I guess recently started using Lightroom a lot more thoroughly to edit my photos, and I think it has just been like awesome for me. I've gotten down a really cool theme on my Instagram with like an aqua bluey type of red popping out sort of like coloring scheme. So I took 2 photos that I thought I would recreate for you guys, and re-edit on Lightroom and show you how I got those edits in the first place. So let's jump over to my Mac and see what's up. So hey guys, we are chilling in Lightroom right now, and I just imported these 4 photos that were posted on my Instagram for a while. I'm pretty sure this one I'm pretty sure this one isn't up anymore, but 2 of the other tennis shoot ones are up, and then this one is definitely up, and this one is my favorite. So we've got some awesome pictures, and we're going to add them to Lightroom right now. So I'm just going to jump in. Let's see, which one do we want to do? Let's edit her for a second. So every time I jump into Lightroom, I always start with the S-curve. So I always stick a point in my mids, a point in my lights, and a point in my darks. So I always just start off by doing a nice S-curve, and that's always just what I do. But for right now, I want to do a super light. I kind of like where the shadows are at right now, so I'm just going to bring them down and just bring the contrast a little bit. Mid-wise, I'm just keeping it. I kind of like where this photo actually has a really nice contrast already, but I usually pop an S-curve in there. Today I kind of didn't really do, well, I did a little S-curvy thing. You can see it's S-ish, but I always just start with the curves because I think that's what's most important. So then I almost always bring the exposure up on my photos, but this one I kind of wanted it to be a little bit darker because I felt like the shadows were super intense and the colors were super intense. So I'm actually going to leave this. I usually put down the blacks because I like my shadows to be super dark and intense. But for this, I want to keep the shadows dark. So now I'm going to go down to my temperature and colors because that's what I do. So the most important thing about my Instagram theme is I want to pull out, my aquas and my reds. So I usually actually skip the temperature for right now, this one I want it to be kind of warm. I usually, for my Instagram theme right now, I usually keep the temperature the same and just give it a green. This isn't that important. Vibrance I like to mess around with, but I always bring my vibrance down a little bit because I'm about to mess with the colors, which is gonna kind of bring it up a little bit. But I usually touch my white balance after I touch my mixer. So I always start with red. I just go in order. So for my reds, I bring my red hues more towards the orange because I'm actually going to switch I'm going to bring out the oranges, the reds in my oranges, and the oranges in my reds, which makes a really cool look. So as you can see, as I move this around, my reds take a different hue. My reds are in my sneakers. So I'm bringing those more towards the orange. And for saturation, I'm actually going to bring it up on the reds. Then for my oranges, I'm going to make the orange look more red. So as you can see, my hair is super orange. So as I slide that over, my skin tone and my hair gets this really nice orangey tint. And I'm actually going to turn the luminance up on that because when I turn it down, and the saturation down, I'm going to turn the saturation down just a tiny bit, but I'm going to turn the hue a little bit more intense. Or you can just turn this, whatever feels right is what I'm going to do, but I want them to have a nice red tone, so I'm keeping it right there. Okay, then yellows I always bring down, even though in this it doesn't really have a yellow. It does have it in my shirt. So the yellows are going to be more orangey, so it just brings back that warmth. Then I usually skip greens. Greens are super, doesn't really matter, but for this one I brought them more towards the blue, and I brought the saturation down on them. Usually the luminance is what I mess with on greens, so I brought it up for this particular photo. Then then the blue hues are what's super important. So I usually, for the jeans, it's going to be more of a dark blue in this photo. So I'm taking my dark blues, but I'll start with my light blues, and I bring the hue towards aqua. So in this photo,